Alright. We see Khmer, the chunker. Unique unit for Mr. Tato. Do we get for Leary then? Khmer for Tato. This is the one that I was talking about as well. In addition to Italians, I felt like Khmer would probably be the best second option for Tato, so to say, and Leary. But Leary, on the other hand, I need to wait a moment before we see. As close to live as possible. Hindustanis for Leary. Alright, boys. You ready? I'm ready. So we're gonna have to be as well. Anyway. Welcome everyone then to game number 1 of the Grand Finals already. Best of 7 series. Leary on the left hand side with Hindustanis, Tato on the right hand side with Khmer. We have a stable opening for both these guys already, and Tato is going to start seeing the farm over here. One of the greatest things about Khmer is just their uncanny ability to get food income just remotely from farms, so that's going to be great. Meanwhile, Leary on the other hand, well, he does get a discount in villager production. So he's gonna be saving resources on that regard. Now, Khmer is a civilization that actually benefits probably more so from standard start games as opposed to Empire Wars, as you do save your resources from not getting age requirement buildings, right? So you can just go up to the next stage without your required buildings from before. But on Empire Wars, players are already going to begin with everything that they need. We already have a blacksmith, right? We get a barracks over here, so on a different game mode where Tato would begin from the Dark Age, then he would have saved the resource from the barracks and gone straight into the stable. That's not going to be the case over here. Regardless though, he does have to defend himself against the scouts over here, so he's already going to start poking at the villagers. And then on the left hand side we see a counter poke coming in over here from Tato. He is very wary of the spearman over there, but I think he might have been able to get the villager down if he had committed to it. Just he would have lost the scouts, or probably one of the scouts for sure. And what a strong opening already for both these guys. On the right hand side, Leary's roaming around already. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much over here though, by the looks of it. But Tato is doing a really good job keeping his economy safe. He's got spearmen down the south, 2 spearmen over here at the center. He's got another one. He's got this spearman over here, just completely protected. And as long as he's paying attention to his units, he should be in an alright spot. While on the left hand side, well, Tato doesn't doubt taking a free hit over there. He's going to pay it right now before he loses his scout. But he's got to pay attention. He is. Both these players are in stir. Almost forgot. No problem. Thank you so much for the sub, for the resub with Prime Gaming as well. So, coming in free for you. It's still great for me, of course, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you for the extended support. It's 3 months already. And there we go, the first villager goes down over there from Leary to Tato Scouts, and we're gonna see more villagers going down over here for sure. Another one, and another one, and 3 villagers killed from Leary by Tato Scouts. He's going after the next villagers, and Leary, just by the skin of the villager's teeth, was able to save him. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, there are no villager losses from Tato just yet at all. And we have 7 scouts over here from Leary as well, roaming around. 6 scouts as a matter of fact. But he's gotta be very careful. The spearman's over there. Now Tato's bringing the villagers over. Now Leary's scouts are not high HP enough to engage over there. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, Tato's bringing the scouts around. He's gonna try and take the engagement against the spearman. He's gonna take one down. He's gonna go after the second one. And now Leary's going after the scouts, but he cannot really land a good hit with the spearman. He ends up chunking HP off the scouts, but not taking a single one down, which means the damage output of these units from Tato is still very high. So if he does end up finding a villager exposed, he can definitely go for it. And now he's gonna go for one more, and that's gonna be the 4th villager down from Leary. And the spearman going down over here from the Bull player means that Tato can keep on putting pressure, and he's going for another one. He's very careful, but Tato is doing a great job. Still on 2 scouts. He will end up getting another villager if he pays attention over here, but he's paying attention back home instead. Leary's bringing the scouts. He's got archers into the mix and the spearman over there as well. While on the left hand side, Tato will. He cannot find another villager pick, but he's already managed to get 5 villagers, and that's already plenty of damage. Less than 8 minutes into the game. Wow. Keep in mind that even though we see the first villager going down over here from Tato, Leary has 1 minute of extra idle TC time compared to Tato. So despite the fact that we have only 4 extra picks for Tato compared to Leary in terms of villagers, the villager lead right now extends actually to 6 additional villagers for the red player. It's got scale bar than armor common in Leary. Leary's got forging only. So with scale bar than armor, forging and bloodlines, Tato scouts should be stronger compared to Leary, as Leary's still lacking the +1/+1. Now that Tato's getting a defensive tower up over here, that's certainly going to help as well. And we'll see. Leary's going for the villagers. He's going to get another villager over there. He's going to get 2 additional villagers by the looks of it, but Tato does end up fending Leary's units off. And at the end of the day, we have a 6-4 eco KD. Doesn't seem like we're going to see any extra villagers going down over here. However, the tower over there should be plenty for Tato to push the units away from Leary, and he will. Leary's still roaming around though, so he's not completely pushed away just yet. But if you take a look at the HP of Tato's units, compare that to the HP of Leary's units, I think Tato shouldn't really struggle to defend too much. 220 HP for Leary. Meanwhile, Tato's got 300 HP. He's got just as many scouts, and he's going for the counter-strike. Meanwhile, we'll see the spearman over here from Tato pushing the scouts away. This is something that was very different between Tato and Leary. Every time that Tato shows up with spearman, Leary completely bails. Like, he completely falls apart, and he bails right away. Meanwhile, Tato's going to take the fights. Surely, that has resulted in more scouts going down from him, but also, that's what allow him to get the villager picks that he's got it. And now the counter-strike! Leary's panicking! He's sending all the villagers towards the TC. He does not have a single spearman over here. We're gonna see villagers go down still. Tato's played this really well overall. I think he could have gotten more damage done, but it's still not going to be bad, especially when you consider this. That's gonna be 20 farms, actually 18 farms that Leary's got completely out of right now. Cannot take advantage of, and that's been a lot of resources down the drain. 1,200 resources Leary cannot really make use of right now. And he was forced into bringing his army back to defend as well. Meanwhile, Tato can keep on roaming around, and he should be fine. He's finding another villager over here now. It's going to be a 9-5 eco KD favoring the Gamer Legion player. There's not too much going on the right-hand side anymore from Leary. At the very least, it's not really putting too much pressure to speak up. Yeah, you can see Tato full focus. Face cam over there is quite revealing. Meanwhile, Leary on the other hand, well, Leary's just trying to focus himself as well. And I imagine in this situation, you gotta try to keep yourself from falling into mental state, right? That would really be very detrimental for your gameplay, where you feel like the game's already over. Why keep on trying? But Leary seems to be able to handle his mentality pretty well. And now he's going to be the first player to go up to the castle age as well. While Tato, on the other hand, well, Tato's got 12 scouts, so he's got more scouts compared to Leary, but that did delay him to go up to the castle age quite a lot. So it seems like unless he's able to do some damage over here, Leary might be very well coming back into the game. Up in the north, we see extra scouts coming in from Tato, and he's doing a great job. He's going to find more villagers once again. Doink, doink, doink. 3 villagers dead. We'll see another villager going down over there, and Tato finds yet another one. And that's gonna be 15-6 eco KD favoring Tato, doing an absolutely outstanding job at taking the villagers, tearing the economy apart from Leary. He's gonna find yet more villas over here. If he plays his cards right, might be able to get 3 villager picks, but he's very, very wary of the spearmen, so he cannot really take the engagements just yet. And just going to walk around. Meanwhile, Leary tries to get the quick walls up over here, but isn't able to do so. Fortunately for Tato, there are no villagers underneath the TC over there, so he can just go back, and now he's gonna be able to click out to the castle age in just a moment. But for the time being, he's still in a very good position with a 19 worker lead, and should be on his way to the castle age in just a moment. Meanwhile, Leary's gonna be there in about 5 seconds. So what do we have for the Bull player? In terms of military production, he's got 2 stables, so he can start going for camels right away. That's going to be really good against whatever cavalry Tato's got left over. And whatever cavalry Tato might be able to go for in the castle age, of course. But right now, we'll see if you actually go for light cavalry. It's going to end up losing more villages. That's going to be 1, 2 villages going down. We're going to see more villages going down, and this is just a slaughterhouse. And so Leary's base, Tato's doing He's been doing whatever he wanted to over here. He's gotten so many villagers. The LTC time just kept on creeping higher and higher for Leary, while Tato's been able to keep it under control for the most part. At the very least, when you compare the LTC time for both these players, Leary's got twice the LTC time compared to Tato, so it's not great. It's not great. We see a second TC coming up over here, but this seems to be just a contingency one from the Bull player. And you know, for game number 1 being the neutral map, and Tato looks so strong over here, it's amazing to see his performance. And it really makes me wonder what Tato's gameplay is going to be like on Arabia, given how well he played against Hera in the previous set and how well he's playing against Leary in this game. But yeah, we'll see more villages going down, and Tato's done a masterful job at keeping the scouts alive and just sustaining damage. Notice how he brought the scouts down from the north, where he was just sneaking over there and waiting for the right time to strike, and he does manage to find a few extra villager picks over here so far. 28-6, Eco KD favoring Tato, and Leary does not seem like he'll be able to do too much over here at all. He's got the camels. The spearmen are already there from Tato, and of course now that Tato's getting to the castle age, that's going to be pikemen very soon. He's got the pikeman upgrade coming in right away, and Leary, short to call on the GG, is going to keep on trying harder and harder. Tato, instead, he's got the second TC on the way himself right now, so if he plays his cards right, he should be able to sustain this 17 villager lead he's been able to get so far against Leary. What 17? 27 villager lead, 28 villager lead that he's been able to get against Leary already, and this is just remarkable performance from the GL Pro. Pikemen. Tato's just gotta make sure not to keep all the pikemen together over here. This is a situation where you really want to spread your army out. If you're gonna be playing defensive against faster units, you want to have your units available everywhere. Because otherwise, you're going to get outpaced. And these scouts, the camel, could potentially go onto the wool line, for instance. We don't really have spearmen over here. Like, we have 3 only. And only now Tato's bringing these down south. So if Leary was there a little bit earlier, he would have been able to get a villager down, probably 2 or 3. Meanwhile, that was not the case, and now we see a 30C on the way for Tato, which will protect his economy further, and the 30C for Leary, which will protect his economy further as well. As well, he's gonna try to catch up, of course, but we know that's going to be pretty difficult. As long as Tato plays his cards right, he should be able to prevent Leary from coming back at all. He should be able to keep the villager lead quite consistent. I guess what I'm trying to say is, from this point onwards, is really going to be Tato's game to lose, and the only way back for Leary, this is something that I do not really like to see in a game, but unfortunately right now, the only way back for Leary into this game isn't really up to him. It's not really dependent on his gameplay. It's going to be dependent on Tato royally screwing something up and throwing the game, because Leary, if he plays perfectly, and if Tato plays perfectly, Tato wins 9 times out of 10. So the only way back for Leary over here is Tato screwing up and opening an opportunity for Leary to catch up in the game. And I mean, we have a 24 villager lead. There's no trivial stuff from Tato. It's going to take a lot of throwing over here. Thankfully for Leary, Tato is a very strong person, so he can throw the game even if it's pretty won already. But that's certainly not what most people want to see, of course. We want to see good Age of Empires over here. And that includes the person who's on the lead, of course. You might see a village go down over there. Not quite, actually. Is the villager going down? The villager's going down, finally. It's been very, very difficult. And Tato's getting to 110 population. Leary's 30 population behind. For the most part, we do have 24 additional villagers for Tato, so it's not just villagers, it's also military. Right now, Tato's ahead in both regards. In both fronts. 40C is on the way now for Tato as well. In case his villager lead was not strong enough, if he can keep all TCs working, should be in a position to get even further in his villager lead. Just gotta figure out the housing situation. He's kind of housed right now. 30C is coming out for Leary. Yeah, but only now. He's been on a 40C rather, sorry. Coming out for Leary, but only now. Tara's already had this one on the way. Might be able to get it up a little bit sooner. Now, let me take a look at Leary. Did he know? Did he realize about this, actually? He doesn't know about the 40C. He's just going for his own 40C just because he was planning to anyway. And Tato with Khmer, he's going to have a pretty strong late game as well. All he's got to do is make sure that he does not throw the game too hard, of course. Once he's up, his extra villagers should allow him to sustain gold income, which is going to be very necessary for his potential dead ball if he does choose to go for siege and elephants. For the time being, it's going to be pikeman and scorpion, so it's going to be a little bit of a smash. We even see the monk coming in forward as well. Forward, see workshop, yeah. Oh, thank you, Bailey. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Because Riley said a few hundred, but I am not really good at estimating the size of an audience just by sight, so I have no idea. That seems about right, though. I would say probably about 200 people? 300 people, perhaps? It's very interesting. Tata's push, though. It's going to get stronger by the minute. He's got chainmail armor, arson coming in. If this stable goes down, how many stables do we have left for Levy? He's got just a 2, so if he loses this one, it's gonna be down to 1 stable, which will not suffice to produce anywhere near enough units. Although, to be fair, right now he's facing a staggering amount of pikemen, so going for cavalry currently would be kind of a mistake for him, but yeah, it kind of sucks for sure. If we got a good log, it'll be easy. Count the rows. Yeah, for sure. I didn't really see it though, but it shouldn't be too hard. What I mean is, just gauging by sight at first sight what the size of the audience would be. Yeah, if you know the rows and the columns, it's easy peasy. I did see a lot of people standing though, but I'm not really sure if that's people who are choosing to stand as opposed to staying seated, or some extra people made it into the castle. Anyway, hey Fluffy, thank you so much for your words, kind words. Appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, well, yeah, you're missing out on some of the live hype for sure, so you definitely want to come over to the Twitch channel and drop a follow, twitch.tv/NovaEOE, of course. So they can catch live. Not this one, of course, but future tournaments. We have a great one coming in from Mem. $30,000 prize pool coming up in November. That's gonna be good. We have this Cup. What am I talking about? Double Cup 3 as well coming up very soon too. So be sure to drop a follow. Regardless, though, back to this game. Tato's got almost enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age, while Leary's done a good job at scrapping resources together as well. His stockpile is looking very healthy, and he should be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon as well. Tato's got him beat. He's got a 4 castle coming out. Because he's going to be the first player to get to the Imperial Age, he's going to be the first player to get access to Trebuchet, assuming that he gets the castle up. I don't see a reason for Tato not to get the castle up over here. Even the crossbows from Leary shouldn't do too much. Tato's got scorpions over here to protect the castle with. He's got knights to protect the castle with. And Leary's camels are coming forward, but it doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much. Well, shouldn't be able to. Tato's bringing the pikemen back. So there we go. The castle's already up from Tato. 2 minutes away from the Imperial Age, and Leary is almost a full minute behind to Imp, which means by the time he gets Treb out, he's gonna have 2. And this castle is probably gonna be history. Here we are. This is scale mail armor on the way for Leary, so that's +1/+1. On the right hand side, there is a second castle on the way for Tato, so you could potentially even go for double trebuchet production if you wanted to, as soon as you got to the Imperial Age, and then have the trebuchet trek over to the front. There's a lot of damage though coming in from Tato. I think this is probably going to be GG. Leary cannot really do too much to keep the castle up once Tato gets to the Imperial Age, other than just waiting until he gets to the Imperial Age himself and going for his own traps. But given the damage he's been taking so far and the score difference, I wouldn't be surprised if Leary were to call the GG within 10 seconds for now. I guess we are going to find out. Okay, Imperial Age is here for Tato and Leary. Leary's not calling it though. No, 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 no. So that means Tato gets the trebuchet on the way. He's got a single one though, queued up from the castle. He's got the second one on the way, but he's gonna choose to queue both from the same castle as opposed to going from both castles at the same time. Instead, he's going for conscription, which makes sense. He's going to boost his production. He's got Cavalier. He's got conscription. He's got Halberdier. Blast Furnace on the way as well. Tato's going for everything he can go for in the Imperial Age that he needs for his army. It's going to make it so difficult for Leary to defend himself. So we see the first trebuchet over here already deploying. And Leary has not queued out the first trebuchet. He does not have the gold. 20 seconds for Cavalier for Tato. He's going to be able to take care of camels over here. No problem with cavalry alone. But then he's got the Halberdier on top of that as well, and the second trebuchet is on the way. He's got the third trebuchet queued up too, and there we go. We have Cavalier, we have Halberdier, and Leary cannot take the engagement over here. Tato's sending the Cavalier straight for the crosses over there. I think he's trying to, but the camels are getting on the way. Now with 2 trebuchets, Tato is taking the castle down, and Leary's gonna be left on no fortifications over here to defend himself. Actually, he does have 2 more castles left, but these are not protected anywhere near as much economy as this one is. Then on the right hand side, there is a little bit of a counter push coming in from Leary, who's sending the Gulam warriors forward. But it doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much, as Tato already has some defensive Cavalier. He should be able to take care of this just fine. And while on the left hand side, we see camels coming in from Leary as well. Heavy camels, that is. But he's lost the castle, he's lost the TC. He's in 109 villagers with about 3 TCs to protect them all. 2 castles. The castles are not reaching deep into Leary's economy, so he's gonna be banking on the TCs to protect himself. And you know what? If Tato ends up getting both these TCs down, that's going to leave Leary not enough space to protect his economy at all. Instead, Tato though is very, very cautious over here. He's gonna choose to bail until he cleans these units up before going forward and taking the TC again. But it seems like the engagement is going in favor of Tato, and not too close. Very much so, and Leary calls it GG. Well done, well played, 1-0. Tato takes game number 1. And we are just going to skip the achievements and go back right away to make sure that we do not miss out on the players over here. Let's take a look at the reaction though on the webcam view. We are a little bit, further ahead in the game, but there we go. Leary cannot be too happy about it. And Tato, Tato's just trying to stay center over there, just keep it together, you know? For the players anyway. We are only 6 hours into the stream, and we are jumping into game number 2 of the grand final already. So this is probably not quite as long as they anticipated the series to go. We see the civilization coming in for Tato already. It's going to be Franks. And I know the civilization for Leary. It's got Lithuanians. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love the way they introduce the civs over here. In any case, I'm already inside game number 1. I'm just waiting for the guys to... there we go. And so it begins. Game number 2 in the series. 1-0 lead for Tato against Leary. We have Franks for the red player. We have Lithuanians for the blue player up in the north and down the south. Tato and Leary will be. Tato, of course, is going to open up with the stable already. We're 1 minute into the game, while Leary instead, he opens up with the stable as well. So what do we get for these civilizations? Lithuanians will begin with extra resources, 150 extra food, which is so good. Will allow you to go for extra scouts compared to what your opponent's going to be able to do on hybrid maps. You can potentially go for dogs as well by working your economy differently because of the extra resources. However, we don't have water over here, so instead, just going to be for scouts. And Tato, well, with Franks is going to get 20% extra HP for free on cavalry units from the get-go. While Leary, on the other hand, well, he's not. It's gonna have to research bloodlines. Here we are. Not too much pressure. Not too much pressure coming in yet. Players do have the scouts on each other's bases, but notice how careful Tato is over here. He's just completely pulling the villager away as opposed to just trying to protect it with spearmen and finishing the walls. Meanwhile, down the south, we see Leary, on the other hand, is just banking on the spearmen to protect himself, and he does have some walls coming up, but he's not been investing quite as heavily as Tato, I think. Yeah, Tato's going for a larger wall over here. He already had a wall on the right-hand side, so he's a little bit more committed to the walls. But interestingly enough, we have extra villagers for Tato currently, and I'm not really sure where that's coming from, because there is no Eco-KD at all. And Leary, well, he has got another 17 seconds of idle TC time. So what is the matter over here? Did Leary get house? If he got house and he went for town watch, I guess I would probably understand it. Otherwise, it seems kind of off. I'm just going to take a look at this really quickly to make sure the player started on the right amount of villagers. Yeah, it's the same for both. So I'm really sure what that was about. I think it's probably wheelbarrow. Oh yeah, there we go. It's wheelbarrow. Sorry. That should have been the go-to answer actually for a 3 villager difference, but I didn't think for it. Didn't think about it for a moment, for whatever reason. So now Tato's village counts a little higher. It's gonna take some time for Leary's wheelbarrow to pay out, but for the time being, we'll see a big engagement coming up over here. And it seems like Tato might be able to come out on top. He's doing a really good job microing the units around as well. He's going to bring the spearmen forward, take the scouts back. He's going to survive on 3 scouts, but there's only 2 over here from Leary as well. The spearmen are going to remain still fighting on the back, but it seems like Leary's going to win that one. However, Tato won on the scout department. Now he's coming forward, putting pressure up. Not anymore, he's going back. He's not really getting too much momentum. Very good push over here from Leary. Nice. There we go. Extra scouts up in the north. Beautiful. Villagers going down. 2 villagers down already from Tato. 3 villagers total. Down to Leary scouts, and Leary, I think he's kind of trapped over here. But now the question is Leary trapped with Tato, or is Tato trapped with Leary? Because the scouts over here, they can still keep on doing damage. Okay, never mind. One goes down. Yeah, and Tato's on his way to the castle age. At the very least, by not getting wheelbarrow, he does manage to keep up for the most part with villager count, but it's obviously not ideal. Losing 3 villagers over here is going to equalize the villager count by the time ball players get to the castle age. Only 15 seconds for Tato to get there. Scale bar then was coming up for Leary. We know what to expect from both these civilizations. It's going to be a cavalry showdown in the castle age, of course. I'm taking a look at Tato. He's got 2 stables over here, and he's got a monastery on the way, and a second DC on the way right away. So he's going to play for economy and for aggression at the same time, or at the very least for knights. Might not be aggression, might just be defense. We'll see. Meanwhile, taking a look at Leary instead. He's got... yeah, 2 stables as well. He's gonna get to the castle age in about 25 seconds, but Tato, by getting the second DC up, should be able to catch up and surpass the villager count very soon. Potentially, if he goes for wheelbarrow as well, that's going to put him in a good spot as well. He should be able to get a stronger economy compared to Leary. So for these civilizations, the thing about Leary's civ though is the Lithuanians are a very, very strong civilization from the get-go because of the extra resources, but they kind of taper off in the mid-game. They do not really have too many bonuses beyond the extra attack on Knights and Light units per each really garrison. But Shadow's civilization, on the other hand, is so much nicer. In that regard, it's just going to keep on getting stronger and stronger. Right now, for instance, he got Heavy Plow for free. He did not have to pay for the upgrade. He immediately, basically, as soon as he gets to the next stage, already benefits from the upgrade, which means the villagers can carry 1 extra food. The farms are going to last longer once they get reseeded. And Leary, on the other hand, will... He has to go for the upgrades, right? He's got to go for Heavy Plow. And while Taro might not have Wheelbarrow, he does have Heavy Plow and Bolso, while Leary, on the other hand, has got just double Bit Axe and Horse Collar, so... I think economy over here is actually better for Taro. Let me take a look at Gather Economy time so far. It's better for Leary, but take a look at this. The villager count has switched in favor of Taro, while Leary is sticking to 1 TC. Okay, only now going for the 2nd TC, so much later compared to Taro, who already is on 3 TCs. Taro's going for full economy. He's got double monasteries, and he's got Sanctity on the way as well, so this will be very difficult for Leary to push against. This is going to be very difficult for Leary to outgrow as well, as that is just in a fantastic spot. Red player lands the conversion over there as well, ends up collecting 1 relic. I think that's going to be the 2nd relic for him, honestly. Actually, no, that's going to be the 1st relic. The next one is over here. We have a 3rd relic on the left-hand side, and then we have the 4th and 5th relics on the right-hand side, up in the north and to the east. And Taro's probably going to lose the monk over here. Doesn't matter, probably not. He is already kind of getting away with the 1st relic, and this one was the farthest relic, which was the closest to Leary's base. Right hand side. Taro still has a scout over there, just keeping an eye on the relics, making sure that Leary does not get access to a single one. It's interesting because Leary is gonna try to be greedy over here, and he's going for the relics for himself as well. Would you have 1 extra monk over there for Taro when all is said and done? I think Leary's still better. Yes, he's got 12 knights over here. We'll see another conversion coming out from Taro, so that's going to even the waters out. It's going to be 11 versus 11. And never mind, 11 versus 10. Taro did end up losing 1 of the knights over there, but he does get another conversion. Now we're going to see the counter conversion coming up for Leary over here. The hill advantage over here is going to be instrumental, and it seems like it's going in favor of Leary, and Taro's getting completely wiped out. Not even close. The upgrades for the units, though. What is going on with Taro? He's got just forging. Not even +1/+1. So yeah, Leary might not have the relics in yet. Anyway, with all the map control that he's getting right now, he's certainly going to get at the very least 2 relics in. But he's got chain bar than armor, iron casting. Taro's got just +1 attack. That was not close at all. That was a complete butchering of Taro's units. Interestingly enough, though, Taro's still ahead in military count just by lieu of by means of a stronger economy. He's been able to keep production going, and Leary's kind of struggle, especially as he's on the extra TCs. It's going to be difficult for his smaller economy to sustain production of both villagers and knights. So it's very interesting. Second town center is up over here for Taro. Beautiful. Seems to be in a pretty dominant position still. The pikeman upgrades coming in for the red player. And even though Leary is completely walled up over here, very soon, of course, Taro's push is going to be too strong for the palaces to hold on against. So Leary, he needs to mass a good defense. I do like the monk play, but he's gone for only 4 monks. Meanwhile, Taro's already gotten up to 5. Leary's got 7 knights. Taro's got 11. Still no upgrades though. That's the kind of like the weak point for Taro. Scale bar than armor, man. At the very least. Chain bar than armor ideally, and iron casting ideally for him as well. He's coming in with the knights. He's got the pikemen. There we go. Scale bar the number is finally on the way for Tato. We'll see extra stables on the way for Leary over here. That's going to bring his stable count up to 4. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Tato's point of view, see a stable count of 2 only. Here we are. Beautiful. Forecast is on the way now for Tato as well. He was not prepared for this at all. The knights are coming in. The numbers are still looking mighty strong for Tato. So even though the upgrades are better for Leary, the numbers over here will still be enough for Tato to take care of these units just fine. He's got the pikemen, he's got the knights. The castle over here is coming up for sure. Then he's gonna start collecting some of the stone over there. Well, is it coming up actually? Leary's bringing some knights over here, but I think the castle should be coming up. Even if Tato ends up taking a few losses over here, if he just tries to force build this, it's way too close to completion for it to be denied by a knight. Or a few knights over here. So he does get the castle up and he's gonna start collecting stone right away. Meanwhile, Leary's just ignoring the castle and targeting the villagers. Managed to get a few down over here, but Tato's still gonna be in a much better position. And what is this from Tato? What kind of performance are we seeing right now as Leary calls the GG? Tato takes game number 2 and that's gonna be 2-0. Leary never stood a chance. Tato's just too strong. 2-0 lead against Leary on Arabia, no less. Frigid Lake, these are incredible maps and Tato's just been performing so well. This is wow. Wow. Just wow. Take a look at the relief look on Tato's face. Wow, I just need to shake this off because how can I go into game number 3 when nothing in the world makes sense right now? How on earth is Tato pulling this off? I have no idea what the answer is, man, but he's doing it and I am loving it. I have nothing against Leary, but Tato, man, he was due for a big win and this is the biggest win there is in the world. First off, I was expecting this to be either you know, the top 4, right? Viper, Leary, Hera, or Mr. Yo get into the grand finals, but we see Leary over here against a player that is not any of the other 3, and you gotta think, okay, so Leary's taking this easy, right? But it's not been easy at all. As a matter of fact, it's been pretty difficult for Leary just to keep up over here. Tato's done an incredible job. Tato did mention, though, that he has been preparing alongside Winchester. Like, Winchester's helped him out quite a bit, and I imagine once again because he's the only GL member left for the final day, I imagine everyone ganged up on Tato with strategies and discussions and just trying to figure out what to go for. And so far, you know, the interesting thing though is what we just saw from Tato was nothing out of the box. It was just very clean Age of Empires. It's not like he went Franks into crossbows into surprise factor against Louis. No, he just went for knights. He went Frank Knights and he won. And Louis saw him go for Frank Knights and he lost. And it was just a very, very clean execution from Tato, and he's just playing some fantastic Age. So we have Bulgarians for game number 3 coming in from Tato, and Leary on the other hand. Guess we'll find out. I'm really sure Tato's having issues over here. Is the game paused? It seems like the game's paused, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's Kimmons for Leary. And there we go! Game number 3! Bulgarians for Tato, Kumans for Leary. So it begins. We're gonna see an opening with an archer range over here from Leary from the get-go, while taking a look at Tato's base on the other hand. Will reveal a barracks coming in. So this is going to be once again the man-at-arms push that we have seen already a few times throughout the tournament, but so far it's not really worked out too well. So we'll see if Tato is able to make it work this time around. In any case, though, this is not something new. This is not something particularly unique over here, so it still feels to me like Tato's probably just keeping the ace up his sleeve, just keeping a secret over here, just keeping some strats prepared for later stages when he needs them. Right now he's on the lead, so he's just gotta play Age, he's just gotta play his best and hope for a win, of course. Meanwhile, Leary instead, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for him. Of course. Once again, Leary, I think he is really good at managing his mental state so that he does not fall into a dark place in situations like this, and he's able to keep up. Just, you know, just collect himself, keep it together, and just reset, right? Just forget about the first 2 games. This is a fresh start. Just play your best, and you're freaking Leary, so you're gonna have pretty good chances if you just play good Age. For Tato, he didn't realize about the scout going underneath the TC over there, it seems. He does have a stable on the way though, so it's going to be double barracks in the stable. And Leary should know about the stable right now. But he's still kind of struggling to hold on against the push from Tato. Actually, we might see a villager go down over here. I think that's going to be first blood. And yes, sir, first blood! Tato gets a villager down with the Manatarans, and the scout could potentially go after another villager over here. After all, the Manatarans got still plenty of HP, so if he plays his cards right, he's going to get another one, but he's not going to be able to do it, and that's a very good take over here from Leary. And Tato is unable to get too much more damage done over here, right? Yeah, Leary's just going to pull the villagers back to the TC. Down the south, counter raid coming in from Leary. Doesn't seem to be doing anywhere near as much damage though. I mean, to be fair, it's just been 1 villager pick so far for Tato, so it's not a massive amount of damage he's dealt either. But he's not losing a villager over here, and he's got, once again, and this is so unlike Leary. Tato's got less idle TC time compared to the blue player when the game is very, very hectic at the very beginning. So we see another village going down over here from Tato. We see another village going down over there from Tato as well. But we're going to see another village going down up in the north from Leary. So it's going to still be a lot of pressure coming up from both players on both sides of the map. And this is just a race to the bottom. The villages going down from both these players do not stop right now. The tower, though, will make it harder for Leary to keep on putting pressure over here. Tato's defensive position is pretty good. And Leary, on the other hand, he does not have a tower on the back. He's got a tower in front instead, so he's gonna have to make a transition over to collecting wood from this area, I guess. Well, I mean, he did get pushed away from the back wood line over to the front one, in any case, as well. And it seems like the Manatarans are finally going down, but Tato's already getting a lot of damage done with these guys. 1 extra villager pick. He's got less idle TC time right now. He's not really ahead in villager count, but he did get town watch, so I think that's probably the reason why he's not ahead. He's still, you know, racking up a little bit of extra idle TC time himself. There we are. Beautiful. Stable. Producing scouts over here from Leary. Both players are playing for the Castle H over here. It's not going to be too much about Field H aggression anymore. We do have a good amount of units over here for Leary, so he can definitely go for it. But Tato should be able to defend himself as well. He's got the towers, he's got scouts, he's got a good amount of scouts actually. He's got 2 stables right now. This is very interesting because Tato opened with double barracks. Going for 2 stables is not a trivial investment, so it seems like he's gonna try and commit to full fuel H push over here. Meanwhile, Leary will click up to the Castle H very soon. This is very similar to what we saw in Tato versus Hera in the previous set of the day. And if Tato plays it somewhat similarly as well, he should be in a much better position, as after all, there we go, Castle H on the way for Tato. Never mind, he cancels the scouts and he goes out to the Castle H. Okay, I was going to say, with all the damage he dealt against Hera in the first game of the previous set, he might be able to pull something similar over here against Leary, but the difference is that he already had dealt damage to Hera at the very beginning of the game, and over here, he's not really done too much against Leary. At the very least, Leary was able to retaliate, and we have a 1-to-1 eco KD so far. So now Bull players on their way to the Castle Age, and it's going to be a head start of about 24 seconds for Leary, but that's about it. The scouts are coming now for Tato, which I like better. Go for the scouts after clicking out, so you'll still have a strong army to upgrade to light cavalry, but not delay the Castle Age instead. Let's take a look. On paper, Tato should be coming out on top. He's got scale bar than armor, he's got forging. Bloodlines is not there quite yet though, so even though the numbers... Oh, numbers are actually the same right now. Leary scouts with bloodlines are actually doing pretty well. Yeah, Tato ended up splitting his army up. He does have more scouts on paper, but he's got several in front. Iron Casting's on the way for Tato. First thing in the Castle Age, he's got a triple stable push coming in for Tato. He added the third stable. Damn, boy. He's not collecting any stone. He's not gone for a TC either. So it's just going to be 1 TC full push. While Leary instead, he's got chain bar than armor. He's got 1 TC. No extra TCs coming up for the blue player at all. And if we take a look at this point of view, he's got triple stable push as well, so it's gonna be the same production for both these guys. Now the thing is, Leary already has a nice military lead, and with all the spearmen coming forward, if he's able to ever get the pikeman upgrade, he should be in a much better position to take an engagement compared to Tato, while Tato instead will be banking on just knights against knights and pikemen. And the knight count for Leary should be somewhat comparable to Tato's, that is, so it seems like this might be finally the first game to go in favor of the Austrian player. I don't want to jinx this one for either player, but Leary's got some momentum, you know. Tato, well, Tato's going to split open over here, is going to separate himself from the same strategy Leary's been going for and go for a second TC instead, but he does end up taking a few losses, 3 villages down. There's not going to be the only losses he's taken so far. It's been 12 villager kills from Leary so far. Yeah, and nice picks over here from Leary as well. He's traded knights for villagers. And this allows him to mass a 10 villager lead already. So Tato just calls a GG over here. Can I keep on going? Pressure from Leary is just too much, and the problem for Tato is that if he wants to keep the second TC working, it's just not possible. So let's go back. I'll take it. I don't know. I like the experience quite a bit. Alright. So Turks coming in. Wait. Turks. Right, so it's going to be the same we saw the last time around as well. Turks for Tato on the Bull. What is Leary going to go for then? Well, you know it's going to be Turks versus Byzantines now that Leary's civilization is coming through. And the Bull, such an aggressive map. We're so close. You have a very discerning year, Bailo. Alright. Seems like we have the transition coming in. And game number 4 is here. Tato 2, Leary 1. Turks versus Byzantines on the Bull. Tato's first home map into the series. Out of 3 available he's got. Leary already getting a dub in his own home map before. Show us. And let's take a look at what we get over here then. For the opening, there is a stable coming out for Tato. And Leary, on the other hand, he's got an archer range coming up on the right-hand side. And this is pretty much what we saw in the previous series once again. So Tato's just going to start pumping scouts over here. And because Turks gave the light cavalry and Hussar upgrades for free, once Tato gets to the Castle Age, that's going to make his army significantly stronger. Now, there was a little bit of a misstep from his opponent in the previous series. We gotta recall that when Tato was facing Hera, Hera left a 1 tile gap open up in the north, very close to where his economy was, right? So Taro was able to sneak in with light cavalry, was able to do so much damage over there. And in the end, it's not the only thing that cost the game for Hera. Of course, Taro played just very well in general for the rest of the game as well. But that certainly had an impact. So we'll see what we get over here. We'll see if Leary makes any sorts of mistakes or if it's just going to make it harder for Taro to take game number 4 in any case. One village does go down though from Taro. That's going to be the first Eco Blood over here. And Taro does manage to get the walls up though for the most part. There's just a one tile opening over here that he's about to remedy. So he's fine. Yeah, he's okay. Still disappointed they didn't replace the bull trees with red maple. We probably could have gotten a mod for it, perhaps, but that would have made the trees red everywhere, right? Anyway, he's got a 4 villager over here, not doing anything. So he might have gotten 2 villagers down already from Taro, but he's getting some other villager time himself. Now he's getting the walls up. Economy should favor Leary for sure. Not only is he on 4 extra eco units, as he's the first player to go for fishing ships as well compared to Taro, but also he started going into the walls a little bit later, so he does have a stronger, a larger, more effective economy up until he starts going for the walls, while Taro's walls were a little bit more taxing in that regard. So it doesn't seem like game number 4 is going Taro's way currently, and it seems like Leary's gonna go up to the castle edge so much faster. And I don't want to go as far as to say that this might be the equalizer from Leary, but he's looking very strong so far. So far, so good for Leary. So gotta hand it over to him. Yes. There we go. Castle edge is gonna be on the way for Leary in a moment. Taro. Taro's going for the walls down south. This is very similar to what we saw in the previous series once again. One more village after this one, and he should be on his way up. Unless he got a market. If he got a market, he should be able to click up already. He's got the resources to balance his economy. No. He's going for one more villager. Yeah. But after that one, he's going to be on his way to the castle edge. Taro, on the other hand, is not even close. Not even near. So far away. Especially going for the scouts over here. Certainly delays his castle edge further. And you know, Taro got a market up. He should be able to go up to the castle edge as well. It's in a very similar situation where if he uses the market to balance his economy, he goes up faster compared to just doing it organically. And now Leary's on his way to the castle edge already, as we were expecting. Taro should be on his way to the castle edge as soon as he gets the market up and he balances his economy. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, he's gonna keep on scouting. But doesn't seem like we'll get much of anything from at this point anyway, from any of these guys. We'll see. Castle edge is on the way for Taro. Yes. Gets the market up. Goes to the next one. Beautiful. We have a hit start right now consisting of a minute 14 seconds for Leary, which means he'll get access to knights earlier if he wanted to go for that. I don't think he's got a stable. Let's actually take a look at what Leary's got to work with once he gets to the castles. He does actually have 2 stables, but they are going to be at the center. Then he's got 1 archer range and 1 barrack, so it's going to be knights for Leary. Potentially a transition into camels once Taro gets to the castle edge himself. That could be really, really strong for the blue player, of course. Oh, second TC on the way already. Wow. At the center. Right away. Nice. Third TC on the way for Leary as well, up in the north. So 3 TCs for the blue player. Meanwhile, for Leary, Leary's fourth over here. He doesn't really have much of anything anymore, and yes, Tato's getting to the castle age finally himself, and he's not really too far behind. He's not really too far behind. He's only one worker behind, so it's not too bad. He utilized the water to try and catch up after losing a few villagers earlier. So he's got 2 additional fishing ships compared to Leary. Now the question though is, what will he do? He's chopping through. It's coming in very soon. We're gonna see a castle right away from Tato. He completely tanks his economy in order to get the castle up over here. And the quick walls though from Tato just in time. So the castle's coming up over here for him, and Leary does manage to come in though. The overchop from Tato over there ends up opening, yeah, his base, and Leary's coming over. So Tato's trying to get the quick walls over here. He's gonna go for it, and he does get away with it in the quick walls. And he was going for the drop, but he could not do it. But he does still manage though to get the walls down the south. He will end up sacrificing a villager, but these knights are trapped. Beautiful. He should be able to finish the castle very soon as well. He is under a lot of pressure, mind you. A lot of military units from Leary still lingering around, especially the pikemen over there. They will eventually go down, but they're idling a lot of the TC or a lot of the villager time, working time over here from Tato. So the castle goes up, and we're going to start seeing Janissaries. This is a Hail Mary from Tato. He's just going to try and go for it. Honestly, he's on the back foot right now, so this is the best choice he's got, probably. And I believe that's the case. And Leary shouldn't really struggle against this too much. He already has 1 skirmisher out. So he could potentially keep on going for skirms, go for elite skirmishers. He could go for, honestly, even crossbows. Should be pretty good with good unit control. Leary should be able to take care of any Janissaries. And it seems like for the time being, it's just going to be more knights for Leary though, which I do find very interesting given the fact he does pay full price for those, and they are not too good for Byzantines, of course. The walls were in Larry's mind, and the worms ate into his brain. Yeah. Janissary is coming out. He already has managed to get 6 out, and he's going up the north. So he's gonna start putting pressure up in the north over here, where he's just found out. Oh, actually, he saw the TC foundation earlier. So he's gonna try and put some pressure. We'll see. Ideally, he wants to go for a siege workshop as well, because the Janissaries on their own obviously will not really do too much. I mean, he can try and take the TC down. Janissaries are very strong, but it's just going to take forever until he gets like a 20 Janissary army or something. Otherwise, he wants to get Magnos in. So, in order to maximize the amount of damage he can do over here, he wants to split the units up, but that does come at a cost. Or actually, that does yield a risk of him getting picked up by a larger army from Leary. And here comes 4-set army. Tato, he's got to group up. He's got the Janissaries over here, gonna try to clean these up. And he's got some camels as well with bloodlines, so these are stronger compared to what Leary's getting access to, right? It seems like the Janissaries will still end up getting cleaned up though. In any case, he does end up getting a few villager picks over here anyway, so even though Leary does end up cleaning up Tato's units for the most part, Tato does manage to get some good damage over here. Is that enough though? That's the question, and it seems to me like it's not. Still 21 workers behind, still 16 military units behind compared to Leary. And the Bull player playing with Byzantines over here gets a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age, which means that the stronger economy he's managed to get so far is just going to allow him to go out to the Imperial Age so much faster compared to Tato. And then from that point, of course, once we get access to Trebuchet, to Bombard Cannons, Tato's kind of history. Defensive castle on the way for Leary now as well. The right hand side player though has been collecting stone, so he only had to buy 100 stone compared to Tato's eco-tanking investment to get the castle up. The red player is not giving up. He's coming forward once again. Still though, Leary, mind that he's got a much stronger economy. He's got a much higher military count as well, and this is Tato's only chance probably take the game. He's going for a 4 castle. Love it. He's been collecting stone quite heavily. If he can protect his castle up over here, and we see a counter castle coming in from Leary. He's going to delete the monastery, but he cannot place the castle over there. So he's going for the castle next to the TC, but he's stepping on top of the foundations with the military units. And what's going on? Leary's struggling over there to get the castle up. And now he's finally targeting the castle foundation with the villagers. Meanwhile, Tano, on the other hand, doesn't now get in. A few picks over here, but in the end, it's going to end up getting completely shut down. So, guys, this is the game. Lee will equalize this one. As Tano calls it GG, it's going to be 2-2. There we go. You can see Tano calling it right there. Well done, sir. I think so. But yeah, it's going to be Gujaras for whoever's got Gujaras available. No, it's going to be Italians for Tano. It makes sense. Italians are still very strong, even if they are not making it into the top 5 for civilization popularity. It's still going to be pretty good. And yeah, from the civs that the Leary's got, I think Bohemians would probably be the best pick. There we go. The Miss Arena? We saw Turks and Bohemians 2 games in a row. Coincidence? I think not. Alright. Let's jump into the game, hopefully. Yes. And game number 5 is here. The tiebreaker to see who gets on the lead. Tano, already losing one of his home map matches, is going to have the possibility of rectifying that, as he's going for Shoals over here for game number 5. Let's get Italians. We have Bohemians for Leary instead. And yeah, these are the picks that I was expecting to see from these guys. Tano had definitely more than one option. Leary saw, on the other hand, not so much, I think. This is going to further reduce the pool of civilizations available for the players for the final 2 games potentially. So we'll see what we get over there. But so far, 2-2. Leary's been able to clutch it up, tie the series up, force a tiebreaker over here, and take us, guarantee, a 6-game series. It is a best of 7, yes. It would have been great if it was a best of 9, and it would have been great if we had a best of 7 for the Age of Empires 1 final, but no, it's just going to be a best of 7 for this one and a best of 5 for the Age of Empires 1 final. Beautiful. But of course, that would come with some risks, as we already saw. Even just having to trade, just trying to get 4 best of 5 done in a single day can prove too difficult, depending on how the sets go, right? And if you had 2 best of 5 plus 1 best of 7 plus 1 best of 9, that was technically a lot longer than a 4 best of 5 stream, like the one we got for the quarterfinals, which had to split the final 2 sets into 2 separate streams because the first set took like 4 hours. So you can understand the decision making behind the amount of games for the sets over here. But anyway, seems a little bit better for Leary so far. He's going to get 1 galley down, and Tano doesn't end up getting 1 fishing ship down over there, and he's not really going for any extra galleys. Instead, he's gonna go for the fire galley, which I am not really sure about, because Leary already has galleys. Going for fire galley seems like the wrong choice from Tano. Here we go. Yeah, fire galley should be taken down over here. Leary once again plays his cards right. Yeah, and he was. So Tano stops. Instead, he's gonna start pumping some scouts. He's coming forward. For Leary though, in terms of army, he's got archers on the way from the 4 siege workshop, but he does not have any units forward besides navy. And Tano's doing a good job keeping water over here. It's got fire galley being repaired. Nice. That's about it for the most part. Yes. Market on the way for Leary, so he'll be on his way to the Castle Age. He doesn't even need the market though. He already had the resources, so he clicks up and Tato clicks up. And both players are going up at about the same time. Why are Italians so strong on this map? Even if they did not make the top 5 cut, they are the top 5 in terms of popularity, of course, not in terms of performance. They are really good because of all the discounts they get. They get a 15% discount on fishing ships, and if you want to get water control over here, go for extra fishing ships, you can do so. They get a 15% discount to go up to the next stage, and even if you do not plan on taking advantage of water whatsoever, the 15% discount to the next stage does add up and allow them to go up usually to the Castle Age faster, potentially to the Imperial Age significantly sooner compared to their opponents. Now Leary, he's going up to the Castle Age at about the same time as Shadow, and that's about it. Besides that, Italians also get 20% cheaper gunpowder units, cheaper upgrades from universities and docks as well, so going for water once again should be pretty straightforward for Italians. They do get cheaper war galleys, and with the resource they save on going for fishing ships, they can go for extra navy units. While Leary, on the other hand, with Bohemians over here, is going to have a very nice power spike in the Castle Age by getting access to chemistry and hand cannoneer. It's not something that we have seen people take advantage of very often. As a matter of fact, it's actually been the case that they do not utilize those bonuses at all. But they do get additional bonuses with 25% higher bonus damage from spearline units as well. The Bohemians can be really, really strong. And Tato, well, with Italians, he could potentially go for cavalry. He was opening with scouts, and now he's got the light cavalry upgrade on the way, so it seems like he's going to stick to it. And Leary instead, well, he's just sticking to archers. He opened with archers, he's going to stick with it. He's got 10 archers, just now upgraded to crossbowmen, and he's gotten the Balkan arrow upgrade. Second TC on the way for Leary, second TC on the way for Tato, and the third TC on the way for Tato. See if he can get water control over here. Seems to me like he shouldn't be able to. Once again, a pretty sizable discount on the war galley upgrade, so that was very nice for Tato to go for the fire ships over there. And Leary's not thinking of going for war galley at all. So far, things are looking better for Tato, even if just in potential with the extra TCs. Beautiful.
I know.
There you go. Down the south. We'll see an extra TC on the way from Leary. That's gonna be the third one for him. Meanwhile, Tato, he's just stayed back home. He's starting to pull a nice villager lead though. At this point, 9 extra villagers, so 9 extra workers compared to Leary. And he's just booming. He's gonna get to the Imperial Age very soon. And then he's gonna try to get control of the center golds, I would imagine. Question though becomes, will he be able to push Leary away when the blue player is already established down the south, for instance? I guess it's really going to depend on what each player's got to work with. Leary, for instance, he's collecting stone with 7 villagers, 8 villagers right now, as a matter of fact. That means that he should be in a pretty good spot to secure the center once he's able to afford the castle down the south. However, Tato, well, Tato's got a stronger economy, but no stone miners. Only now making a transition to stone, but with only 4 guys compared to the 9 stone miners from Leary, it doesn't seem like Tato will be able to go for castles anytime soon. However, if he does get to the Imperial Age, with a 20% discount he gets on gunpowder units, he might be able to go for a few bombard cannons and push whatever fortifications he might be able to go for in the south. If Tato manages to get to the Imperial Age, of course, if he does manage to get a castle up, Lyri's pressure over here is just toy pressure. He's not really meaning to do anything. He just wants to look threatening. Yeah. Anywho. There we go. Hand cards on the way for town. He's just focusing on economy fully. It's going to be pretty uneventful until we get to the Imperial Age by the looks of it. Legends coming in for Shadow. Let's get demolition ships. The one demolition ship over here in addition to the fire ship and the war galley. Yeah, and it seems like it's just going to be a race to the Imperial Age for Shadow. Very soon he'll be able to go for a castle finally, though. He does have a lot of stern mines over here compared to before. University's on the way. And Lyri's got not a whole lot. He's going for a castle up in the north. He's been collecting stone quite heavily as well. Now, this is good. If Lyri is able to hold on to the castle, that's going to put him in a much better position to hold on to the center golds, because this castle is going to be so much harder to take down than this to see. But obviously it's going to depend on what each player's got to work with to potentially take down fortifications. Taro on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. It's going to get 20% cheaper Gamp, bombard cannons, Gamp paladins in general, and Lyri. Lyri's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon as well. Oh, and what is Lyri doing over here? He was trying to go for a tower? I think so, and Taro's reaction is swift. He's extending the walls from his base to behind the villager, but that's how a lot of villagers is working with, just to prevent this villager from doing too much. So I guess it's not really doing too much damage. Actually, I think that was a villager that Taro converted. Actually, that Lyri converted from Taro. Second castle on the way for Lyri. Taro's got the resources to go for a castle. He's gonna start pushing on the left-hand side by the looks of it, or up in the north rather. Meanwhile on water, Taro should end up getting full water control. Here we go. There's another castle on the way from Lyri. No, he doesn't have the resources. He was trying to go for what? 4 buildings? He's got a TC on the way. Okay, I like that. So far, despite the fact that Lyri's got the castle up over here, he's not really been able to protect the gold too much, or at the very least prevent Taro from getting to it. Both players have castles on the closest side of the center over here, as opposed to on the other side, so it's not really possible to prevent Lyri, or for Lyri to prevent Taro from getting here, and the other way around is going to be true as well. Not possible for Taro to prevent Lyri from getting to the gold, and Lyri's going to start going for it. Meanwhile, down south, only Lyri has presence at the center. Imperial Age is here. Alrighty. Beautiful. Taro will indeed be out of gold soon. He does need to go and control one of the sites. We take a look at the available amount of gold at this point in time. He's got only 2 tiles worth about 1,000 gold. That is not a lot. That is not a lot. And he's gonna try to start collecting from the center already, but of course he's gotta take care of Lyri over there first. Nice push from Lyri's. Got our ballisters now. There we go. And That's a pretty good defense for Taro as well, pushing the Arbalisters away. There's gotta be careful. There was a demolition ship somewhere from Taro, I'm still sure. Oh no, he lost it. Probably lost it to the Arbalisters trying to get these. Coltieri coming? Yes, sir. He's got 5 barracks up in the north. He's got a cannon galleon on the way. Taro's taking advantage of his water control. Nice to see. And the Coltieri coming in straight into the base. Aliri gonna start taking some villages over here. Is gonna be going up against the monk, and the monk will get a conversion over here. By the looks of it, seems like not. Seems like RNG was pretty unfortunate over there for Liri. Meanwhile, Taro, he's got a bunch of villages going down over here to his Condottieri. That's gonna be a very nice eco KD for him, but he still has to get access to the center gold. It's just not there yet. Beautiful pressure. There we go. The Arbalisters are going down to the Condottieri. And Castle's going down to the Cannon Galleon. Love to see this unit. You know, it's been very underutilized before. And for Red Bull Wololo Legacy specifically, we have seen a lot of extra Cannon Galleon making it into the games. Up in the north. The Condottieri are coming over though, surrounding the Arbalisters. So down south, we have all the pressure from Taro with the Cannon Galleon taking the castle down, and then up in the north. And it's a castle going down to the Trebuchet from Taro, and this is a fantastic pressure. This is exactly what he needed. This is absolutely what he needed. Taking the castle down over there means that he, well, kind of secures this area. Ideally, he would want to go for a castle of his own over here, just where Liri's castle is about to crumble. Then down the south, well, he's still not really cleaning this up just yet, but he's got the Cannon Galleon approaching, so he should be able to target the castle after he gets past the TC. Fantastic. Beautiful. So far, so good. More Condottieri coming over from Taro down south instead. Castle's coming in from Taro too, and Lyri could not really deny this one on time. Yeah, some villages going down, but that was probably just from Taro being distracted because those villages were getting past the castle foundation. But it seems like this one is coming up, and wow, there's a reason Italians are so good on this map, and Taro is showing us why right now. The discounts to go up, he was able to get a pretty strong economy. We take a look at gather economy time at this point in time. Taro's gotten 3 extra hours of gather economy time compared to Lyri. 13% stronger gather economy time for Taro so far compared to Lyri. Hand cards coming in for the Bull player right now, but Taro's had that for a while. And in the end, doesn't seem like the Cannon Galleon are going to target the castle over here from Lyri, but the Trebuchet from Taro should still be able to get the castle down, and there we go. So Lyri is getting pushed away from the north. He's getting pushed away from the south. He's got another castle on the way, but this one already got spotted, so it shouldn't take too long for Taro to go over there and take the castle down as well. Here we are. Condottieri have been doing an incredible job. They've just been getting such good trades. Yeah, there he calls it GG, guys! Chato takes this one. Not possible for Leary to keep on holding. He was getting ready to back home as well. That's gonna be GG from Leary and Chato getting the lead in the series one more time. Chato 3, nearly 2. There's a little bit of a break over here for the players. At the very least, Chato is taking a moment off, so let's take a look at this.
Yes, we do. Thanks very much, boys, and great calls so far. Give it up, Dave and T90. What a show they're putting on, my friends. And viewers around the world, I'm joined here on the stage by everyone's favourite Spanish streamer here from the Age of Empires community. It's Mem TV! Now, Mem, we've been watching this very closely. We've watched these two go back and forth. We saw Tato get up 2-0. Leary's dragged it back, and now Tato with that, well, I don't want to say decisive, but very important Game 5 win. He's looking good, one more, and he gets it. What do you think's going through his head at the moment?
What a series. Well, first, I have to say that I'm scared about this crowd.
Oh, yeah, let's address this. Absolute animals.
I'm scared because I thought that they were serious. They were going to be... They killed a monk because of the relic.
Yeah.
They're searching for the blood.
They're hungry
one
for
monk, and they are screaming all the time.
We see a cannon galleon take out three of those
arms. One archer.
Oh, yes, give it to
one
us.
archer. They go crazy. Well, they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah,
well, about the games, 2-0 first, looking so sharp, Tatot, but then Ligue coming back to. We have not seen a lot of archers from Ligue, and in the games that have been archers, have been the last one. You saw what happened with the Condottieros. He has the mobility. The archers Bohemians is a civilization that is good in a choke point. You know, if they have to be chasing units, you have seen, they are not the best. What is going to happen now in the last two games? Because Ligue has not been in this situation before. The last year was just the opposite. It was 3-2 for Ligue. Viper was behind, tried to come back, and he did it. What is going to do now, Leary?
Well, I mean, we saw Scholes slow things down, right? And I think that's something that Leary, I'm not going to say he struggles with, but he feels more at home when things are nice and open, aggressive. We see the Atacama ban to make sure that he can't play on maps like this. So I think he has to find his strength once again. I think he has to find a way to make these games his own, because Tato slowing things down on Scholes there, I think that worked in his favour. Yeah,
but that's the big question mark here. Why? Because Tato is playing out so good in the aggressive maps.
True.
In Arabia, for example, he was basically France versus Lithuania, if I'm not wrong. It was very, very aggressive game. And Tato was having, with the monks again, good conversions. He got really good numbers, and he never let Leo get the aggressive position.
That's true.
He was there with the knights. He was coming, switching to pikes, and has been very aggressive during the whole tournament. So now Leo probably is a little bit like, I have to do something else.
And we saw that happen in game number 3, where Leary got on the board with the Cumans against the Bulgarians. Now, we'd seen Hera have a lot of success with the Bulgarians on Morass, churning out scouts, right? I don't think Tato got quite enough value with the men-at-arms, and Leary being faster to castle was also pretty huge in that matchup. I don't know, what were your thoughts on game number 3 and how it went out?
I think in that game, the problem was that, if I recall correct, I think he did 6 men-at-arms. I don't think he achieved any damage. Even if you have the men-at-arm upgrade for free, he didn't kill anything. He also did the armor, if I'm not wrong. Also didn't kill anything. Cumans, cheaper buildings, cost half the price. He controlled the army very, very well. And without killing villages, he got up to Castle faster. And from there, he got that game quite fast.
And we had a bit of a historical upset as the Byzantines faced the Turks all the way back to the siege of Constantinople. This time, however, well, don't worry about it. This time, however, the walls held and the Byzantines won. What are your thoughts on the Bull? This map is wild. We're still figuring out so much about this map.
Yeah, because we see that same strategy with same civilization sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. In that one, well, Byzantines is quite a strong civilization. What happened in that one? They have the Tone Watch for free. to get a lot more vision. And also he achieved just 1 minute faster. He made that he do a TC in the north, take all the short fish. That's free food. He got some kills with the Janissaries because he did a castle at home, but he sent the knights and he killed everything.
That's right. Like Leary was so good at cleaning up those Janissaries, and like because it's such a hard unit to mass, and Leary was doing a really good job of making sure they didn't reach that critical mass where they were so difficult to deal with. And you know, it shows a level of versatility on Leary's part that he can play a longer game. I mean, Shoals didn't go his way. He did get that early map control, but the condos in Game 6 obviously. In Game 5, obviously just too much for him to deal with in the later stages.
I think the mobility has been a key. Who has the mobility units is having more the advantage and winning the games. Because in that one, he was having all the knights, while Tato was having the Janissaries, was trying to make some damage, but the knights, with the pathing, with the actual pathing for Age of Empires 2, it's taking the lead and took the game. And in the last one, we saw already.
Well, I mean, we've got potentially two matches, like 2 games left here. I don't know if you can remember off the top of your head some of the civs that are left, the maps that we've got. I mean, there's so many, obviously, in a best of 7, but even without the maps and the civs, let's zoom out. What are we expecting in these last 2 games?
Well, in the last 2 games, Leary need to take the lead, need to be aggressive, or Tato, he has only 1 game to take the series, guys.
Yeah. And if Tato wins 1 more, that's it. And there are a lot of Tato fans in the audience. We've heard you hooting and hollering whenever he gets up and about. Here they are. That's right. Jail boys all the way up the back there, my friends, as well. But Tato has got to come up against a bloke who is no stranger to this sort of level of pleasure. Let's hear it, pressure. Let's hear it for Leary. Leary's going to get it done as well as best he can. But that's enough from us, my friends. We're going to send it back up to the casting chamber. We've got Dave and T90 ready to take us through the final stages of our grand final here at Bull Wololo Legacy.
All right. Thank you, Riley. Thank you for the introduction. You got my name slightly wrong, and you said it twice, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll take it from here. So I say that though, we see the civilizations coming in. Stato's got Tatars for game number 6. Leary instead. He's got there we go. Aztecs coming in for Leary. Aztecs versus Tatars. Cavalry Archers versus Eagle Warriors. We have seen this a few times in the past already. We are going to do just what we need to, and welcome everyone to game number 6. Match point. Tato on the lead, 3-2 against Leary. Leary is picking Aztecs for this one. Kinda, as we say in Spanish, throwing all the meat to the grill. And, you know, Tato on the other hand, he's got Tatars over here. So that means that he still keeps Mayans available for acclivity. The final map that we are going to see if this one goes in favor of Leary. I think so anyway, right? But, yeah, we see an opening already with Tato going for the stable. The right-hand side, Leary's got an archer range over here. It's going to start going for skirmishers, probably anticipating the archer play from Tato, and Tato with the mind games over here is going to open up with scouts, which perfectly counter skirmishers, of course. Now we see Eagle Scouts coming in for Leary as well, so it's going to be both Eagles and skirmishers. And he's got a spearman coming out right now, so it's going to have a little bit of everything. It's got a salad army over here. An AI army with just one unit of everything. That's going to be extremely obnoxious to counter if Leary's able to micro the units correctly, which we're probably expecting it to be the case. Anyway. Scouts coming in from Tato. He's got 2 over here already. Gonna run straight into the scouts from Leary. That's going to result in 1 scout going down. I think actually that was a scout going down. No, that's sunflowers. So that's going to be 2 units going down already from Leary to Tato scouts. Great opening over here for the red player for sure. Then up in the north. It's open! It's open! Does Leary know? Yes! He should know. He's going for the house right now. Man, that was so close. If Tato realized about that, probably he wouldn't have been able to get there on time. Beautiful. Tato does end up walking back. He cannot really do any damage forward as Leary's completely walled off, and Leary's completely, and Tato's completely walled off himself, so it doesn't seem like Leary will be able to do much of anything either. And now the Castle Age is on the way already for Tato. Now Castle Age should be on the way for Leary very soon as well, so it's not going to take much longer for the Bull player to click up. But he's gonna be behind by about 30 seconds at the very least, probably more like 40, 45 seconds. And what does that mean? Well, Tato is going to get to the Castle Age. He's got, for the time being, just one stable, and he's not really going for much of anything else, so he can go for a variety of things. He's not going for Bloodlines, Scale, Bar, and Armor, or Forging, so he's not. What he coming out right now is Bloodlines, so that could have been for Cavalry Archers. However, there is a second stable coming up over here, and Tato already shows us his hand, while Leary, on the other hand, well, is going up to the Castle Age right now, and as we were talking about earlier, there is a head start of 1 minute and 8 seconds actually for Tato, so even more so than I thought. And Leary's showing us his hand, and he's got the second barracks coming up over here, and it's going to be full Eagle Warrior versus Knight Production, and that's going to be very interesting because Leary, with the Aztecs, gets incredible monks. And that's going to make it very difficult for Tato to make the straight Knight play work. He's going to need something else, and right now, doesn't seem like he's got anything else planned up. No archer ranges. He's got just the one barracks that he started with, but of course no mana times upgrade, so he wouldn't be able to go for long swords. And Castle Age is here for Tato. I guess we'll see what we get. Second TC for him. Here instead, still a minute away. And there we are, up in the north. Leary's already started production. He already kick-started production of Eagles. He's got 7. And no third barracks from what I can see. So yes, Leary gets to the Castle Age right now. He's got Squire, he's got Eagle Warriors on the way. He's got Fletching coming up. So some skirmishers over here. Fletching, interesting. Getting some picks. And he's got the second TC coming up down south actually. So he's gonna start collecting some of the neutral resources already. While on the left hand side, Taro's just been roaming around, finding some of the picks, but so far he's not been capitalizing on it. Interestingly enough, he's not been going for knights. He's got step lancers, an army of 7 right now, while Leary instead, he's just gonna keep on going for more and more Eagle Warriors now. And there's the third TC coming out for Leary as well, so both players will be on 3 TC so far. Leary's got a little bit of idle TC time over here. He got a house for a moment, but not quite as much as Tato, and Tato's out of TC time. Might not be because of being housed, might be because of having the extra TCs up earlier. Especially because he's already ahead by 2 villagers. And that's going to increase even further as now wheelbarrows coming in for Leary. And let's take a look. There is a big engagement coming up right now. And notice the Tato's micro the units over here to try and take advantage of the extra range. But for the time being, he's not really able to get a good engagement. And Leary should be in a good position, especially as he brings the step lancers. That is not good though. What is going on with Leary? He brought the Tato's units onto the hill, and then he started fighting uphill. That was of course not going to work. He's got the first monk coming out over here, but it's coming in way too late as he already got pushed away from there. Wow. There is a pikeman upgrade coming in now for Leary as he is 100% sure about Tato's army composition, because he's right now just step lancers, and Tato's gonna keep on going for it. You know, this is not the first time that we see. Oh man, what was it? World Rumble, I think? Sounds about right. Here comes Leary's economy completely exposed. Tato's getting a villager down over there. Make that 2 villagers, make that 3 villagers. Doing a really good job sneaking in. Yeah, and Leary's reaction is swift and appropriate. He's bringing the pikemen, But doesn't seem like he'll be able to put a stop to the step lancers over here, especially if Taddo's just paying attention to the units. He should be able to prevent the pikemen from doing any damage. Plus, the front is already open from Leary as well, so now Taddo can put pressure from 2 sides at a time, and he's got the lead. He's in the driver's seat over here. As long as he's paying attention, he should remain in a favorable position. Now taking a look down south, the step lancers are coming in from Taddo and taking the monks down as well, and it's a great position for Taddo so far. He's got the 4th EC on the way. Might have gotten cleaned up over here for the step lancers. Yes. Okay, there we go. There we go. We are back. Hopefully. So let's keep on going. Yes. We are back. Sorry about that. The stream died, yes, but we are back now. So let's keep on going, and hopefully we are not too far behind. We are back. We are back. Yes. I just needed to reconnect my VPN. The previous server died for some reason after going strong for 7.5 hours. We are back now. Once again, I'm sorry about that. That's something that sometimes happens when the stream dies. I come in muted, but guys, we might not need to worry about it too much. Do let me know though if audio's back. Yeah, that's not something we might have to worry too much. I was able to save that pretty quickly. And Taddo's looking very strong. He's looking mighty good over here. Military population is barely higher for Leary. Taddo instead is ahead in villager count by 34 workers actually. 37 now. And he should be able to keep on producing units over here significantly better compared to Leary. Should be able to get a much stronger production going. And take a look at this. He's going for a forecast over here. If he can push Leary away from the goal, that's going to be a severe step back for the blue players. He does not really have any extra resources over here, and it seems like it's going to be the case as Taddo's going for it. We have the cavalry archers over here, plus the step lancers, and the castle foundation is coming in. Not quite. Now it's coming up, and Leary does not have the means to counter this, and this might be very close to the end of the road for the blue player, who's gonna keep on trying for dear life. He's just gotta go for it, so he's bringing the villagers over. And can he get the damage done over here, though? That's the question. My lord. Oh, man, right now, this is a do or die position for Leary. Yes. I'm sorry about the spoilers over there if you saw it, but it's going to be the case. The Taddo ends up taking this one with the castle coming up. There is no way for Leary to come back into this one, and it's going to be game. Leary's going to cut it right there. GG, congrats, and Taddo takes Red Bull Wololo Legacy's championship with a final score of 4-2. Let's go back and check the interview. We do not want to miss a moment.
Goodness gracious me, what a show we have just received. Please join me in being the first to congratulate the Age of Empires 2 Red Bull Wololo Legacy champion, Tatso! Mate, what a series. Yeah. So much I want to ask you about, my friend. Let's start at the beginning. You came to this tournament with a team, a family of guys who got together for this boot camp to prepare, to dig in and do your best. You were the only one who made it through to the semi-finals. How was it with the support of your team approaching today, this day, with you flying the GL flag?
Well, my team is always there for me. Like everything I asked, they're like going for help me as well. And obviously, like I think without them, I couldn't make it here.
Mate, how are you feeling heading into this game, heading into this series, I should say, going
first game's a win for you. Second game, you're 2-0 up against Leary, a bloke who has been in more finals than anyone else. He's won more of these than anyone else. How were you feeling when you were just 2 games away from victory?
Yeah, I was like, oof, this is a good start. I had seen a start against him in all the tournaments, and then I got a reverse sweep, so I wasn't confident at all. Like, Leary is, for me, is the best Empire Wars player, so you cannot be overconfident against him.
Yeah, and I mean, he equalised at 2-2, of course, and that must have been a bit of a reality check for you there. We did take a bit of a break, right, after you won that 5th game and got up to 3-2. What were you telling yourself in that break when you were just 1 game away from victory? What was the lesson you were trying to remember?
Well, I was like thinking what to pick, to be fair. Like, he got Aztecs and Incas, and it was going to be mind games, I believe, because I actually expected him to pick Aztecs on Acclivity, but then he might actually read my mind and play against Tatars. And then I remember in the bootcamp, like, that was, we need to use stable lancers more often. And I say, I think it's a good moment for that.
Well, we saw then the raids, the aggression, getting up in his fill with that castle, a thrilling conclusion. I want you to tell us, when was the moment that you knew you had won the championship?
I think when I got in, I think I was ahead already, but Aztecs is super strong, so you cannot be like confident. So when I get in and I was like, I saw that he switched to pikes, I was okay, I have the mobility, and I can use that on my favor. So I was always trying to move his army around the map, so I will know when is the right moment to castle drop and then get the game.
I want to ask you one more thing, or really not, it's not so much a question. I want to offer you now an opportunity. I know there are so many people who have supported you, so many people that, you know, can claim some portion of the victory you've just achieved. Tato, who do you want to thank? Who have you got a message for at this, the biggest achievement of your Age of Empires career?
Obviously, I want to thank GL staff for allowing us to go for the bootcamp. My GL teammates, for sure, like they are a big part of that reason that I'm here. Also Winchester, that he couldn't make it here and he has helped me a lot, so thank you, Vince. And all the fans, like I had my mobile is an old one, and it was blocked when I won the semifinals because it was so much message. So everyone, thank you so much for the support, and hopefully we see each other next time as well.
Well, my friends, there's just one more thing I have to do with you now. And that is confer upon you the trophy that is so rightfully yours, so hard fought and so richly deserved, and the $60,000 that come with it. My friends around the world, join me in congratulating the Age of Empires 2 Red Bull Wololo Legacy champion. It is Tato! The rest of the GL guys are over there, mate.